All right, let's dive into Mahindra Mahindra. We're going to break down how this Indian giant really operates. And trust me, it's a strategy that's way more interesting than just building tough-as-nails vehicles. So let's get right into it. So what's the big idea here? Well, to really get Mahindra, you've got to throw out the idea that it's just one company. Think of it more like a federation, a whole group of powerful, distinct businesses all united by a single strategic vision. That right there is the key to how they run this massive, diverse empire.
Okay, so pillar one, every strong federation, it's got to have a rock-solid foundation. For Mahindra, that foundation is built on absolute, undeniable leadership in their main businesses. Let's start there. 42. I mean, just let that number sink in. For 42 consecutive years, Mahindra has been the #1 name in India's tractor market. That's a huge sector, the very lifeblood of its farming economy. That's not just leadership, you guys, that's a dynasty. And it's not just on the farm, not by a long shot. In the super competitive auto industry, they've grabbed the #1 spot in revenue market share for SUVs. They're actually outperforming global giants right in their own backyard.
So how in the world do they pull this off? By creating brands that are so much more than just vehicles. They're practically icons. Names like the Thar, Scorpio, and Bolero, they're part of the culture. These aren't just products, they're legends that cement that #1 position.
All right, that brings us to the second pillar, and this one isn't just about being on top. It's about transformation. This pillar is all about taking their big businesses and pushing them to run circles around the rest of the industry.
Take a look at businesses like Mahindra Finance or the IT giant Tech Mahindra. For a while there, their performance was lagging a bit behind their competitors. But instead of selling them off, the Federation's strategy was to double down, tackle the problems head-on, and engineer a massive turnaround. And wow, did that strategy pay off. The results are right here, and they're undeniable. Mahindra Finance is seeing big growth in assets under management. That's the total value of all the money they handle. And look at that, a huge shift to digital. Meanwhile, Tech Mahindra is closing major new deals and has seriously boosted its EBIT margins, which is basically how much profit they're squeezing from their main operations. This is what unlocking potential looks like. Okay, so pillar 3. This is where they're looking ahead. It's all about finding and nurturing the next generation of multi-billion-dollar companies right from inside the Mahindra Federation itself. And they've got a great name for them, growth gems. The group has picked out 10 of these businesses, and these aren't just random bets, They're strategic players in industries that are perfectly lined up with India's own economic growth. Each one has a clear path to becoming a massive value creator. A perfect example of this in action? The renewables business, Sustain. This is a growth gem through and through. They're aiming for a huge scale-up to a total renewable capacity of 7 gigawatt peaks by 2030. And just to give you some perspective, that's enough clean energy to power millions of homes. It just goes to show how serious they are about the future. Okay, so you've got the 3 pillars, a dominant core, transformed businesses, and these future growth engines. But what's the glue holding it all together? What's the secret sauce that's powering this entire federation? I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. When a super popular new vehicle like the XUV 3XO comes out, the demand is just insane. Handling 50,000 orders in 60 minutes? That's not just a sales challenge, that's a mind-boggling tech problem. Well, the answer is a seriously powerful and scalable tech backbone, all driven by the cloud. And this isn't just some IT department stuff. This is a strategic weapon that supports everything from their sales floor to their engineering labs. And the proof is right here. Look at these unbelievable booking numbers from their digital launches, all handled smoothly by this system. But it goes even deeper. By moving their core engineering simulations onto the cloud, their design process is now about 25% more efficient. That means better products, hitting the market even faster. Now for the other half of that secret sauce. For Mahindra, sustainability isn't just some buzzword or a box they have to check on a report. It's a fundamental part of their strategy. It's the lens they look through for everything from investments to how they design their products. And this isn't just talk, you can literally see it in action. This right here is one of Mahindra Logic's state-of-the-art warehouses, and it was built with sustainability at its very core. It doesn't just make their supply chain more efficient, it makes it environmentally responsible too. And, when you commit this hard, the world takes notice. They're consistently ranked among the most sustainable companies on the planet, earning top scores on things like the Dow Jones Sustainability Index and getting A ratings for their climate and water efforts. Now,
This isn't just about getting good press. This is about building real trust and attracting investment in a world that cares more and more about this stuff. They're really walking the walk.
So, we've seen the three pillars. We've seen the secret sauce of tech and sustainability. But at the end of the day, what does this all mean for the bottom line? Let's see how this whole federation model actually performs financially.
Well, it means you get some really, really impressive financial results. I mean, just look at this. In a single recent quarter, profits from their core farm business shot up by a remarkable 54% compared to the year before. That just shows you the incredible power and profitability of that foundational pillar.
And this number right here, 19.4%, that kind of tells the story of the whole federation's success. It's the return on equity. And what that basically means is that for every dollar shareholders have invested in the company is generating almost 20 cents in profit. It proves the whole system is working to create serious value. And this quote from the group's CEO, Dr. Ani Shah, really puts it all into perspective. Their businesses are so widespread, they touch 70% of India's entire economy. That gives them this unique perspective and, a really positive outlook on their ability to grow right alongside the country. So it's pretty clear this strategy is firing on all cylinders. They have a dominant core, they've turned around other businesses to reach their full potential, and they've got this incredible pipeline of future bets. It all leads to one big, compelling question. For a federation this successful, what could possibly come next?